presentation show, Bring It On. I'm your hostess, Xinyue. In Season 3, we have 18 presenters all promoting their unique cultures right here on Arirang TV. So it's your chance to sit back and learn about the different culture, history, tradition, and system that make up our dynamic world. And today, I smell desperation because today is the redemption round. I hope you're ready to start. First, let's meet our judges. Need I say more? Our last season's champion, One Kind. Hello.
What's up, world? It's your boy One Kind from Lecture Boys. Feeling good today, and I hope everyone does a great job on their presentation. Yeah.
Xinyue from the U.S. quickly becoming a fan favorite here on Bring It On.
Wow. Thank you. What's up, world? I'm Panita. I'm not part of the Electro Boys, but I'm new to Bring It On, and I'm really excited for today's show because I did not see one of our presenters' presentation, so I'm excited to see what that person has to offer.
And apparently she loves the freezing weather in Korea. South African beauty Browning.
Great to be here, and I really look forward to your 3 presentations.
And speaking of Korea's cold weather, one person is not afraid. From Russia, we have Ilya.
I'm really excited about today's presentation. It's really nice to see you guys again, and I wish you all the luck.
Good luck!
Good luck.
From our multi-ethnic judges, we turn our spotlight to our multi-ethnic presenters. Today, like I said, is a special day. Today is the redemption round. The top 3 runner-up are here with us today, so let's meet them. First, with 54.25 points, she came second among the runner-ups. From China, Xinyue, welcome back.
Hi, I'm Xinyue from China. It's really happy to be here again.
And with 49 points, he clawed his way back to earn a second chance. From Azerbaijan, we have Henna.
Hello everyone, good afternoon. I'm glad to see you again and be here.
Welcome back, Henna. And last but not least, with the highest score among the 3, 66.56 points. I mean, that's a higher score than most episode winners. So, from Denmark, we have Nicole. Welcome back.
It's good to be back.
And there is only one ticket. Only one of you will secure a spot in the next round. So you guys really have to bring it today. Are you guys ready?
Yes.
Okay. And last time you played the violin for us.
Yeah.
And you prepared something else today, right?
Yes, I prepared a famous Chinese song, Sweet Smile.
Okay, then let's hear it. Woo!
.你笑得甜蜜蜜，好像花儿开在春风里，开在春风里。在哪里，在哪里见过你？你的笑容这样熟悉。我一时想不起，在哪里，在哪里见过你？你的笑容这样熟悉，我一时想不起。
So much talent in this studio. It's amazing. And Nicole, I hate to put you on the spot again, but why do you look so nervous today?
We have to fight for the last spot in the show, so I got strong competitors, so gotta do my best, right? Yeah.
Is there like a tradition in Denmark that you guys do for good luck?
I heard actually that, you know the Little Mermaid, the story of the
course.
Little Mermaid? Yeah, it was written by a Danish author, and we have a statue of it in Copenhagen. And I heard that people travel to Denmark to touch her nose because that will bring you luck, especially in love.
Why don't you come over here for a second? Because, as you all know, she is a model.
Wow.
I didn't know that.
You didn't know that?
I didn't know this.
Can't you just tell from
Yeah,
her
she looks like a
posture and
model, but I didn't know she was a
really?
I
model.
knew that.
Nicole is a model in Korea. So why don't you strike a pose for us? A couple, actually.
Some fish
All right.
lips.
If you do like this, then like tilt your head a bit.
Oh,
You get like,
okay.
Wow.
Oh.
and you can always do something fun, like,
Work it, girl.
Wow.
Work it. Work it, girl.
or you can be a little more creative and be like,
수많이 있다면 멀리 찬란하게 뻗은 빛을 따라와 여기 차오르는 눈부심을 느껴봐 너의 세상
Wait, how do you do it?
like slightly like touching my face like a little bit, like kind of like,
Touch
oh.
the nose for good luck.
Yeah.
I feel like you do like
Is this right? Am I doing it right?
Yeah, it sounds a little weird, but like, yes.
Do I look
You
like
do fashion, fashion or accessory.
She's very nice. She's very sexy. Thank you, Nicole.
Yeah.
I think you got a little bit.
If I'm not mistaken, weren't you on the Maxim cover?
You were? On cover? You were on the cover?
You've modeled.
In Russia, we believe that if you fear luck, right? Could you tell us a little bit about that, Ilya?
About what again?
About
Maxim cover.
What year? What year was it? I want to check it out.
okay. Thank you, Nicole, for your posing. What about in Russia? Is there like a superstition in Russia?
There are a lot of superstitions in Russia. A couple I can think of right now is you always have to knock on a wood if you want a luck in your life. That's what my mom always does.
Yeah.
Like she always like.
They do that in the States too. Knock on wood.
And then you tap on your head as a joke, like my head's wood.
Yeah, that's probably international.
Okay.
Yeah.
Today is the redemption round. We are meeting the top 3 runner-ups today. And to our viewers around the world, please show your support to our presenters. So let's start. For season 3, let's check out the rules.
Here are the rules. Only one presenter will be crowned the champion. 6 teams of 3 compete in the continental preliminaries. The winner of each team stays in the competition. 3 runners-up with the highest scores proceed to the redemption round. Winners of the preliminaries go up against each other. Runners-up of episodes 8 and 9 face the winner of the redemption round. The 3 winners duke it out on the final stage.
Here on Bring It On, your opinion matters. Your vote counts for 30% of the total score. So log on to our application and vote for your favorite presenter. But remember that by this time the episode airs on television, voting for next week will be open. Every week we select a new theme. So what's the topic for today? Let's find out. Today's topic is important but slightly difficult to understand. Now, corporate growth equates to national growth. In more than 180 countries around the world, there are ongoing efforts to help big and small startups. So let's talk about that today. What about in China, Xinyue?
Yeah, starting new business is a really strong trend, especially in Zhongguancun of Beijing. And it is called Silicon Valley for startups. And the garage cafes are really big there, especially among the IT companies.
So you mentioned garage cafes.
Garage cafe, wow.
So how would this work exactly?
Looks like a huge garage.
Actually,
hangar?
Steve Jobs started Apple in his garage. There is where they got the idea and the name. A lot of garage in that area have been turned into garage cafes for young startups, and for really low price, they can use the space and the equipment there to build on their business ideas like this.
That's a huge garage, though.
Yeah. I'm guessing like a storage garage.
Right.
It's like a hangar.
It's not like one of those car garages, right?
Not a small
Okay.
one.
It's a truck garage.
It's a big one.
Okay.
Yeah. Starting a new business, young entrepreneurs, that's today's topic. Efforts to support startups. Let's get on with the real show. Let's start the presentations.
Yeah.
The security part of Flex,
with
the
the
thing is,
solution of
you have to
government.
also remember
Never developed because of that.
Before we start our presentation, this is how our scoring system works. Judges, 40%, studio audience, 10%, Bring It On application, 30%, and with a successful talkback session, one presenter will earn a bonus 20%. The votes will determine first, second, and third places. Now, if you're in the studio, listen carefully to the presentations and get ready to toss your questions at the presenter during the Q&A session. If you're watching the studio recording live via the Arirang TV website or YouTube, you have the power to change today's outcome. Your vote counts for 30%, so don't forget to vote. And also, send us your comments and suggestions. We love hearing from you. Okay, let's start. Today we start with Xinyue. Xinyue, you have 4 minutes and a Q&A session will follow. But first, we have a message from your supporters. Let's find out.
Just enjoy it for yourself. Fighting. Woo!
Charlie, fighting! Bye-bye.
Hi, I'm Xinyue. Before I give my presentation, let's watch a funny video first. Here is the secret department of Chinese government. Here comes the gorgeous agent. Sorry, it's me. It's kind of scary, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. What can I do for you? He told me that employment of young people is a global issue right now. So what's my solution for China? Here comes to this. Startup. So do you want to know the special startup support policies of China? Today I'll introduce you the biggest startup support platform in China, Chuang Ke Plus. In China, every June, millions of college students graduate from universities and start finding jobs. But nowadays, more and more young people start to make their own business. The number of graduates who want to make their own career increased by 400,000 in the last 5 years. In Chinese, we call these young people who want to make their own business Chuang Ke. And we can say that it's the Chuang Ke era for China. But everyone knows that it's difficult for everybody to make own business, especially for young people. Most of them have no money, no experience, which usually leads to no office, no website, no commercial channel, and no mobile application. At last, your new business becomes no business. But now Chinese Chuangkers can come to Chuang Ke Plus for help. But what is that? Chuang Ke Plus is the biggest startup support platform in China. Belongs to Alibaba Group, which is run by one of the richest Chinese people, Ma Yun. He created the Chinese online shopping festival. At last shopping festival, the company made $16 million in 74 seconds.
Wow.
The company is really rich, right? But what can they do for you and your business? Chuang Ke Plus collaborates with 30 investment companies in different areas to better provide the support young business owners might need. If you have a business plan, just submit it to Chuang Ke Plus, and if they think it is feasible, you can get your investment. And Chuang Ke Plus is cooperating with 30 business incubators in developed cities like Beijing and Shanghai. More business incubators and offices, workspaces are being developed in smaller cities. If your newborn business like off an office, just apply for it. You may get your office for free or a really low rent. And Chuang Ke Plus provides big data service for you to help you analyze the industry trends, the consumer behavior to make sure if your business is going well. Besides that, you can take lessons on Chuang Ke Plus to learn to build up your own website, and there are free seminars for Chuangkers to meet new partners and new ideas. In the last 6 months, over 140 Chinese Chuangker got their investment for more than $40 million by using Chuang Ke Plus. And the term goal of Chuang Ke Plus is providing their service in more cities and helping 1 million young Chuangkers to make their business dream come true. So if you want to start your own business in China, just come to Chuang Ke Plus for help. Thank you.
Wow, very nicely done, Xinyue.
Thank you.
Judges, do you have any questions for her?
I know that SNS has been banned in China. I don't know if that policy was lifted recently or not. If not, how do they advertise? And especially nowadays, online is the biggest market for marketing and advertisement. How do they, I guess, appeal to audiences?
You mean the new business
Yes.
or? Yes. Actually, most of business they turn to Chuang Ke Plus is offline business.
Offline. Okay.
Yeah. They do online too, but offline business is limited to an area. So they just need to make their products really good and
Okay.
Yeah.
Word of mouth. I see.
Yes, one kind. We see you.
You say this is a huge platform for young entrepreneurs. What kind of businesses have they invested in so far?
Actually, the platform has been begun just for 6 months.
Okay.
And as I know, for example, there is a creative restaurant for people who are on diet.
On a diet.
Like me, if I want to eat kind of things, but I'm on diet, what should I do? You go to this creative restaurant, you can get a really little piece of cake, maybe 2 pieces of tteokbokki, a little ball of noodle. I have everything I want,
That'll
but
fit your
still,
diet plan.
still on my diet, like this.
Okay. Why don't we turn to our studio audience and see if they have any questions for Xinyue? Yes. Could we please pass the mic to our gentleman over here? Yes.
I'm wondering, you mentioned that in the past 5 years, I think you said that the number of graduates opening their own business has increased. I'm wondering if there's any trend in what type of businesses graduates favor more than other ones.
Yeah, actually, as I know, online shopping and some IT industry is popular these years in China. And those graduates choose to start their own business. Most of them, I think, something about IT industry or at least something like mobile application. Yeah.
So online stuff.
Online stuff.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, Chuang Ke Plus. Thank you for giving us information about the Chuang Ke Plus. I think that's all the time we have for questions. So it's time to vote. Let's start with our studio audience. Studio audience, get out your smartphones and get ready to vote. And now our judges. It's time for you to vote. Judges, get ready to vote. Your vote becomes final on my count of 3.
Representing China, Xinyue. And the results?
3, 2, 1. Press the buzzer. One out of 4.
What? Are you guys kidding me?
Only one kind voted for Xinyue. Okay, let's hear from one kind first.
I just think they're cruel, in my opinion. Because from front to end, she barely looked at her PPT, meaning she was well prepared. The delivery was great, and I haven't seen any presenter present like her, season 1, 2, 3, and I'm sure you haven't seen any presenter present their presentation without looking at the PPT. And I thought that was really amazing.
I agree in that your delivery was excellent. You memorized it, you had great eye contact. However, I did feel with regards to your content, there were gaps. There was a disconnect. I got to the end of the PPT, I didn't have a full understanding. And when we questioned you about certain things, I don't think that your answers covered it. I think your biggest disconnect is between the offline-online debate. And I just wasn't persuaded that if I were to go to Chuang Ke and request some sort of investment, that my startup would be a success. So it's a no from me.
One judge, one kind, was the only one who voted for Xinyue. So 1 out of 4. But let's find out what our studio audience thought of Xinyue's presentation.
I want to know.
Here are the studio points for Xinyue. From the audience, 6 points. From the judges, 10 points for a total of 16 points. Now that is a little lower than what you might have expected, right, Xinyue?
A little bit, but it's okay for me.
Right, and it's too early to be discouraged because the application votes count for 30% and the final talkback session counts for 20%. Your vote is important to Xinyue, so 30% of the total score. If you liked Xinyue's presentation, log on to our application and vote for Xinyue. There is still time. Next up, we have Pena from Azerbaijan. His presentation is on the Youth IT Startup Camp. But first, let's hear from his supporters.
We can turn your ideas into reality. Please join us. Fighting!
Hello everyone, good afternoon. My name is Pen, I'm from Azerbaijan. Today I'm going to talk about the Azerbaijan IT industry, specifically about the IT camp. But before talking about the IT industry, I would like to introduce one guy who's gonna presenting about the Azerbaijan IT industry and who is inspired by Steve Jobs. Let's go. Hello everyone, my name is Penat Jobs. Today, I'm going to introduce you an innovative item that even exceeds Steve Jobs' app. Here we go. Azerbaijan carpet. No. Kebab? No. Nowadays, there are increasing number of items in Azerbaijan. However, if we don't improve it or sell it, they are all useless. Startup Azerbaijan. There are so many camps and events for improving and developing startups in Azerbaijan. One of them are Startup Azerbaijan, one is Startup Weekends and Startup Festivals. I choose the Startup Azerbaijan because of its importance, because it is done by ITEC. ITEC is the global student organization which has launched his establishment in 126 countries, have 1 million official members like Cantana, Bill Clinton, and it has 8,000 global partners like UN, Microsoft, so on. What is IT? I would like to talk. Everyone knows here IT, but I want to mention more about IT. IT is anything related to computing science, computing technology. To just mention the IT is important, I should mention this. IT has produced a new science and business school called IS, Information System, just to know how to utilize information technology. Evolution of information age. First, there's agriculture age, human and land. And later it became human and the power of human increased and the power made the machines. After machines, information age has started. And this is where we live in, and importance of IT is as important as all the industries' improvement. Azerbaijan scenario. I would like to talk about Azerbaijan a little bit. Azerbaijan industry of IT started recently, 20 years ago. Azerbaijan is famous with this oil industry, and IT just started 20 years ago, and in 5 years, 27 times internet user increased, and new launches happens, and Azerbaijan government support made 500 IT companies startup in the last 5 years. First in competition is global startup battle. They form teams, feedback, training, and experts from the worldwide gives them opportunities, and all the global business companies help them and improve their ideas, and if successful in the competition, they are chosen and made the company, and they are still running the company. Main purpose is connecting youth with the business world, creating new IT teams. Teams is the most important point of companies, and development of IT, startups, and business in Azerbaijan. Global people from all over the world is welcome. Azerbaijan Youth Business Forum, co-founder, business innovation global community is the more important. Summary is giving your talents the chance and improve IT. Conclusion, where user business meet, switch ideas into the world that impact the world. Where use an IT industry. Thank you very much for listening.
Okay, that was Penna. I didn't cut him off, but he did go slightly overboard with time. So let's get on with the question. Judges, do you have any questions for Penna?
We know what IT is all about, but what's so special about Azerbaijan IT?
Let me explain you. This is a great question because Azerbaijan is famous with its oil industry. Example, first oil tanker was produced in Azerbaijan. First time the oil from the sea was taken from Azerbaijan. In just Second World War, 75% of oil was gone from Azerbaijan. So Azerbaijan doesn't need any more heavy industry. And it's only concentrating on service industry and software industry. IT is one of the most popular software, not heavy industry. So for Azerbaijan, it is one of the most important industry beside service industry. This point proves that, and Azerbaijan government supports fully all the ideas, and companies in Azerbaijan gives all the opportunities, all the chances, and all the facilities to people to make their companies with the great idea, but not just idea, great teams. Teams are important in this point.
So I caught on one of your PPT slides a basic explanation of the camp and how people are selected. Once this team is selected, do you have any examples of what kind of IT or what kind of business with this support they might go into?
I have example. Example, in now Azerbaijan, the most popular IT company is Risk. It's called, the name of the company is Risk. And if you go to risk.az, Azerbaijan AZ, you can see they're the most popular software developers in Azerbaijan. And this is the production of this IT Azerbaijan, event.
Okay. Now, that's all the time we have for questions, so it's time to vote. Once again, let's start with our studio audience. Studio audience, please get out your smartphones and get ready to vote. And now it's our judges' turn.
What's that? What's that?
You guys are tough. You guys are tough to impress.
This round is really important. So
it's the redemption round.
Yeah, it is so
it is. And the winner of this round goes to the finals, I believe, right?
Only one.
Exactly. So
Exactly. It's very important.
we're tough.
It's very important.
Okay, so okay. Okay, then I hope you've thought this through and made up your minds. It's time for you to vote. Your vote becomes final on my count of 3.
Representing Azerbaijan, Pana Mamadiliev. And the result?
3, 2, 1. Press the buzzer. 2, 1. Press the buzzer. Ronan and Punita voted for Penna, so that's 2 out of 4. One kind did the whole dance thing.
Yeah, what's
but
with that?
he did not vote. Now, earlier on, when Xinyue was presenting, you called out our judges as being very grumpy and mean.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And now, do you have an explanation?
After the end of his presentation, I was kind of lost. I felt like it was less organized compared to your other presentation, which was really great. But this presentation, I felt like you were a little nervous, less confident. You didn't know what you were talking about. You were all over the place. I didn't know if you were talking about IT or startup. I was just lost, to tell you the truth. I wanted to vote for you, but I was just lost. And like on one PPT, you spent like almost a minute. And like Arirang said, you did kind of run out of time too. And you just rushed, I think, the last 3 PowerPoints. So, yeah.
I agree. It did feel a bit rushed. However, you explained yourself really well during Q&A. So it does show that you were just a bit nervous. You were running out of time, but you did do your work. So that showed a lot, and that's why you got my vote.
Thank you.
Now, judges, 2 of our judges voted for Penna. What about our studio audience? Let's find out. Here are the studio points for Penna. From the audience, 5 points, and from the judges, 20 points for a total of 25 points in total from the studio.
The audience is pretty mean
Yeah,
today.
our audience is tougher than us
Wow.
Yeah, I
Just
mean,
how
they
about the
do
audience?
realize that this is very high at stakes, so they're being very picky, like you guys, judges, and our studio audience. So far, the judges gave 20 points, and our studio audience gave 5 points to Penna, but there is still the application votes, and votes are still open. So if you liked Penna's presentation, keep your votes coming. Our last presenter is Nicole from Denmark, but before we hear from you, we have a very special video message from your country.
And then I want to say to you, Nicole, I'm very proud and happy that you have come so far in this great competition. You are a fantastic student, and all of us here at the US Embassy are cheering for you. So go, Nicole, fingers crossed that you will do very well.
All right, this is Nicole. I'm back again with a new PPT, and this time I'm going to talk about governmental support for business startup. But first, let's take a look at what's going on back home in Copenhagen. This is the City Hall of Copenhagen, by the way. Very important business meeting. We will now start the briefing of November 6th. Danish companies like Lego, Maersk Group, Novo Nordisk, and Bang & Olufsen are now doing better than ever. But it's not just the larger companies that are doing well. Many small companies are now starting up all over Denmark. What could be the reason? It's all due to our government-funded startup for all sorts of businesses. With this system, Denmark has become the best place to start a company. So let me tell you more about our system of flexicurity. All right, so as mentioned in this video, there are lots of world-famous Danish brands. I made a list here. You see Lego, we see Bang & Olufsen, which is electronics, Royal Copenhagen. The list just goes on and on. But all of these brands are not just in Denmark for nothing. It's because it's the world's best place to run a business. Again, in 2015, Denmark has been crowned the best country in the world by Forbes magazine. And this is actually the 4th time that we're winning this.
Wow.
Why is this? This is because there are low taxes on businesses and a really high level of freedom to do whatever you want. There are almost no regulations. And even more importantly, it's so easy to do to start up your business. That's actually better than all of the G20 countries. You can see the top 5 here. That's pretty impressive. We're a small country. But how do you actually start a business? First, you have to get one of these. It's an ID key card. To this, you can log onto the Danish public system. With this card, you can also log onto internet banking. So you go and you create a bank account for your business and deposit money into it. Doesn't matter how much, the government can fund you with more money if it's needed. After doing that, you go and you register the company online. This will give your company a registration number that you will need for future transactions. 4, start hiring people. We're good to go. If you're still not really sure about what to do, there are so many online portals that are run by the government to help you start up, worker associations where you can learn about regulations for workers, Facebook groups, special classes and academies, much, much more. Unlimited opportunities. So I mentioned that we have academies. We have something called IDEA, International Danish Entrepreneurship Academy. What a perfect name. And it is supporting creative thinking for how to start a business. It helps you learn about how to do taxes and, again, worker regulations, whatever laws there might be. And it helps you think more creative. But most importantly, we have flexicurity. It's a compound word, flexibility and security. Flexibility for the business owner. You can hire people and the government will pay a large amount of their wage if they have been long-term unemployed, meaning that you don't have to spend a lot of money. But if you do get fired as a worker, you can get up to 9 months of your wage covered by the government. The word flexicurity itself was coined by former Danish Prime Minister Poul Nyrup Rasmussen, this guy. So what's the result of this? Low unemployment rates, 6.3 is actually the highest it's been in many years. Economic stability for citizens, creates a highly efficient workforce due to how competitive it is. And any sorts of business is included in this system, no matter how small, size doesn't matter. So thank you very much for listening to my presentation.
Wow.
You know, for a minute there, I thought you were rapping. Your
Yeah, I was rapping too.
Very rhythmic.
Yeah.
Okay, so questions? How did that come from the bigger companies? How did Skype become Skype? We just know that it's from a Danish guy and a Finnish guy, but did they benefit from the older companies?
As far as I know, they didn't really benefit much from the Danish companies. So the system is not, as mentioned earlier, there are bigger companies from other countries that invest money in smaller companies.
Okay.
But in Denmark, you get the money directly from your bank or from the government. They look at you, and we have public funds as well. They look at your business and say, oh, this is a good idea, and they fund you with a certain amount of money that you don't have to pay back. So it's not an investment. You actually get it as a gift.
Wow.
Yeah.
Shall we move to Denmark?
So yeah, that was my question. Like, is it open just to Denmark citizens,
I was
or
gonna say
anyone can do this?
That's the magic thing about this little guy. This is a key card that has a bunch of numbers when you open it like this. And this you can use to log onto the public system. If you are a Danish passport holder or a citizen, you will get this automatically when you turn 18, or if you sign up for it earlier. If you are not a Danish passport holder, you can go to the local office, like communal office or regional office, and you can bring your passport, or if you're a military worker in Denmark, bring your military certificate. It just has to be something with your name and your picture on it, and they will give you one of these within a day.
Wow.
It just
So
pops in
there
the
are
mail.
no limit? You could be a foreigner, and I could be
On a
holding
tourist
a
visa.
Korean passport.
You just have to have the right of stay in Denmark. So if you have, for example, you come to Denmark to work, let's say for Lego, and you have the right of stay through the Lego company, and you then later on decide, hey, I'm going to make my own company, you can actually go down and get this key card and start up a company.
That's all the time we have for question and answer. Now it's time to vote. First, let's start with our studio audience. Studio audience, if you liked Nicole's presentation, please get out your smartphones and get ready to vote. And now it's our judges' turn to vote. Now today our judges are being really tough to impress. Let's see how they reacted to Nicole's presentation. Your vote becomes final on my count of 3.
Representing Denmark, Nicole Hendriksen. And the results?
3, 2, 1. Press the buzzer. Perfect score from our judges. Wow, we have a lot to talk about this. Okay, first, I want to start with Ilya.
Finally!
He's alive.
Yes. I was beginning to think that thing was broken.
No.
Or you had something against that.
No.
No.
Yeah. But well, that was the presentation. That's the kind of presentation I want to see here and bring it on. And I actually have nothing to say. It was perfectly delivered. The presentation itself was very informative. It really made us wanted to go to Denmark and try something there, you know, bring it on to Denmark. So you definitely reached your goal, and yeah.
Noted. So a lot of good points, a lot of compliments for Nicole's presentation from our judges. Let's see if our studio audience agrees with them.
Oh, yeah,
Here are the studio points for Nicole. From the audience, 5.5 points from the judges.
What's up with the audience
40
today?
points
Look at
half of our total of
Why is it only half of the audience?
45.5 points. That's interesting because clearly, Nicole, you won the judges over, but not so much the audience, which means that our voters voting online could react differently from our judges as well. Now, Bring It On is a global interactive show, and that's why more viewers are tuning in to participate. Online application votes count for 30% of the total score. You heard from all of our presenters, and it's time for you to vote. The voting is still open, and your vote counts for 30% of the total score. Let me remind you of our point system once again. From the judges, 40%, studio audience, 10%, Bring It On application, 30%, and a bonus 20% for the talkback session. Now, in the meantime, our presenters will have to fight for not the 10%, but the 20%.
Whoa.
The bonus 20%. There's been a slight change in rules, so there's still that 20% at stake. Ladies and gentlemen, it's time for the talk back, and the studio is going to get heated, so stay with us. It's time for the talk back. It's the chance for our presenters to attack and fight back. It's an all-out war for that extra 20 points. Now, our judges will award the extra 10%, and it is up to our studio audience to award the other 10%, making it 20%, which means that one presenter might end up getting all 20%, or two of our presenters might end up splitting them up. So it's really up to you guys. You have 3 minutes to outwit your rivals, and this is your last chance to earn points from the studio. So you shouldn't hold back. You shouldn't be polite or nice. Just attack.
Attack.
Be rigorous. Don't hesitate and get those points, okay?
Yes.
Okay. So no holding back. You have 3 minutes to outwit your rivals, and your time starts now.
Okay, I have a question for Nico first. Actually, with that great open startup support policy, the balance of the market is kind of important, but won't there be too much new business in your country?
There's a lot of small businesses there, but there's also a lot of bigger businesses. And of course, you can, as I mentioned, be only one person that keeps your own business running. But if it doesn't work out well, of course, you're going to eventually have to shut down your business. So that kind of regulates itself, actually.
Let me ask you one question too. Like, since I know I'm a business school specialized on MIS, since I know about big companies like Europe, American, like Apple, Samsung, or the Alibaba from China, inspiration, motivation, they motivate you, they non-stop working. But this, that is like Danish or Finland, they have high education, stability, big land, and they're improving. But don't you think that Europe, that part of Europe is old? And like Nokia, don't you think that those part of the Europe will be disappear in future and the power from the Europe will go absolutely to Asia, like Taiwan, China, Korea, Japan? This is what I believe.
Well, I mean, there is a problem that the payment in Denmark is really high. So a lot of companies do start up in Denmark and then they move, when they're big enough, they move to other countries.
That's the point.
That is
they
a
move
problem.
there, so everything move there.
Yeah, so that is one problem that the government is trying to battle. But if you do want to do that, you have to unregister your whole company and then move it to a different country. And getting into a different country might not
Because
be
Asia
easy.
doesn't stop, you know. Asia, like this Asia, America, like Saudi Asia, America, Asia. These people don't stop. They usually create, innovate, like Apple, Samsung.
That's the good thing about the flex security system.
Yeah.
The
You're
security
right, I
part of
agree
flex
with
security.
Hannah. And kind of, if there's too much foreign new business in your country and they failed, what the
thing
solution
is,
of your
You have
government?
to also remember you have to have the right of stay in Denmark.
Let's talk about like China also. Like
One
China,
minute
there's
remaining.
like communism, and don't you think China heavy industry will develop, but service and software industry will never develop because of the registration, internet, those kind of things? This is
Also,
what I
I'm a little
believe.
confused about both of your countries' concepts. Yours seems to only support in online businesses,
yeah. I
and
want
yours
to
only
never
supports
online,
offline.
no,
No,
online. This is
online, offline at the
software
same
and
time.
service.
And really, you
Software
just
and
asked
service
the
at the
question.
same
I
time.
want to ask Pana, what about the offline business startup support?
Government start like give money. I just asked government in last 5 years made 500 startups, and they invite foreign people to come to the country and make, and they support foreign more than their own people. They just want IT and software and service industry improve in Azerbaijan. They do everything.
Does that mean that you get more jobs, or does it just create businesses?
Azerbaijan is like a kind of, the land is quite big for the population, and there's a
almost up.
capital, everything. So it is like place, move, work, create.
5, 4,
This is all
3,
like that, like
2,
non-stop
1,
work.
and time is up. Please stop talking. Wow, that was
the most
easier. Yeah, I like that. I enjoyed it so far.
I'm in shock.
Yes. Now, the judges and our studio audience will choose their winners. Who is worthy of their extra 10 points? Results will come shortly. It's that extra 20% at stake. Now let's start with our judges. Judges, you've reached a decision. So who is worthy of your 10 points? One kind, will you do us the honor?
Yeah, can we get a drum roll? Our special vote goes to dun 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 dun, dun to Azerbaijan Pana.
Wow.
And
why is that?
the reason is he was great not only on the defensive side but also on the offensive side, and he made a great point saying Asia is one of the booming continents. A lot of people are going there for business, and he pinpointed a weakness towards Nicole's question, and that's what really got our votes, and him being a business major as well. So, great job.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Well deserved. Xinyue is stuff.
So our judges' extra 10 points goes to Penna. Let's turn to our studio audience. Who have you chosen? I'm just kidding, I know. I know the results. And we've tallied up our studio audience votes, and the majority voted for Xinyue.
Wow.
So you guys were right
I said Xinyue.
that,
Yeah.
well, you didn't have to tell us that, but you guys were right
No,
that
no,
the
I mean,
judges
what the audience
and
was
the
gonna vote
studio
for.
audience
Yeah.
were not in sync, right?
No.
You guys did not agree. So, good job, Xinyue. You got the extra 10 points from our studio audience. And Penna, you got the extra 10 points from our judges. It's time to hear the verdict. I have the final results in my hand. We've added all the points from our judges, our audience, viewers, and the bonus point. Now, today is the redemption round, so only one person, the winner, will get a chance to compete in the next round, which means that if you finish third place or second place, this is the last time you will be on Bring It On. Coming in third place is Xinyue with 34.61 points.
Thank you.
Could you please return to your seat?
This is gonna be so close.
Wow, this is difficult.
Yeah,
This
right?
is difficult to announce. Now for the remaining two. One will stay in the competition and one will have to say goodbye here. So guys, brace yourselves and please step up to the stage. One of these two presenters will be named today's winner, which means that they will get another chance to compete in the next round. Now, who will it be? Will it be Nicole, who blew the studio audience and also our judges, or Penna, who received the extra 10 points? I will announce today's winner. Let's see if the application votes change things around. Today's winner is Now, who will get a second chance in the competition? The person getting a second chance to compete on Bring It On is Nicole. Congratulations.
Wow.
Judges, studio audience, Bring It On app, bonus point, and the final score.
Nicole is today's winner with 54.59 points. Congratulations. Woo! It was a tough round.
Yes, I actually didn't expect this because when I last looked at the app, Penna had way more points than I actually think I placed last time I checked the app. So I thought when he got the bonus point, I was like, oh, okay, it's probably gonna be him. So it's like, when you said mine, I was like, what? Like, yeah.
Right, exactly. 3 of our amazing presenters gave amazing presentations, but sadly only one person got the chance to compete next time, which is Nicole. But why don't we give another round of applause for our 3 amazing presenters? Woo! Good job!
Great job.
Survival presentation show Bring It On. On each episode, 3 presenters will promote and introduce their unique cultures, and you get to decide who earns your vote. So log on to our Bring It On application and cast your vote. Be a part of the show. Now, today was the redemption round. We had to say goodbye to Penna and Xinyue, but Nicole will get a second chance, which means the real competition starts now. Until we introduce all fascinating items from around the world, we will continue to bring it on. Join us next time. Goodbye. Woo!